Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Tips breakdown, we're going to take a look at something you can use to create mismatches through the use of motion. And this is pretty nice because, as most of you know, if you can get a matchup that favors the offensive side of the ball, then you can take advantage of it, especially in the passing game. And that's what we're going to show here in this particular breakdown. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play that we're going to go ahead and use for this breakdown. In the name of the play, you'll find out the gun tray, and the name of the play is called verticals Y drag. So let's go ahead and get ready to get on the field here. And as we go through this, we'll just show you how this play could work and how it could be effective as far as creating a mismatch in Madden 21, or for that matter, in real football or any other type of video game that you might be playing as far as football games are concerned. All right, so as you look at your screen right here, what you're going to see with this particular formation, you've got a 3-by-1. So that means you've got three receivers, in this case, that are going to be lined up here on the left side as you look at your screen here. So let's go ahead and take a look at those three receivers as we go through this video. And so the three receivers are lined up here to the left, and then you have one, which is going to be the tight end. He's lined up over here. And that's how you come by a 3-by-1. So you got three receivers to the left, one to the right, which is the tight end. All right, so what we're looking to do here with this particular breakdown, we want to get this a matchup that's going to allow our inside receiver, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and show you the gentleman that we're going to try to get in a mismatch, and he's our top player, and this is going to be Mike Evans as you look at your screen right there. So with the Buccaneers, Mike Evans is probably the top receiver on that team, and so what we want to do is we want to get him matched up where we can get him open, and we're going to try to get him matched up against a linebacker. So let's go ahead and look at the defense here that we're in currently, which is going to be out of the nickel normal. This is a two-man under, or cover two-man, as you see as your screen right there. And the defender that we're going to look to get matched up with Evans is going to be this linebacker here, and I can't pronounce his name correctly. His name's Alex Anzalone, I think. So forgive me, guys, if I'm not pronouncing that name right. But at any rate, if you look at it, initially it shows that he's in man coverage on your screen here. It looks like he's on man coverage on this running back right here, is lined up in the backfield. What we want to do is get him matched up with Evans. So it's pretty simple to do. And of course, you got to know how you're going to be able to do this, beforehand. You go through some of the defense. I can remember when I started doing these breakdowns, I used to do them on paper way back when. I'm going to get a little bit off track here. I'm just going to kind of give you a little background of how I got into this. Back in 1997, I was working at Firestone, and I was trying to find ways that I could create mismatches when I went and played with my friends, when we used to play a hot seat. So we would sit by each other, and we would be drinking for beer and all that stuff back in the late 90s. So anyways, I'd be sitting at work during my time I was working when I should be working, but I would be breaking down, writing all these plays down on paper and pencil and paper, and thinking about how I could create mismatches as far as on the defense and offensive side of the ball. And so I'd be drawing up all this crazy stuff. And that's kind of how I got in this whole crazy thing that you see now, back in 97. So it's been a long, long time I've been doing this. But at any rate, with that said, what I would do is I would draw it up and I'd figure it out, and I would know every single defense and how the coverage would react based on the motion that I was going to use. And this is a good example of it. So with this defense, if I know my opponent is running a lot of nickel normal cover two-man type defenses, and especially if you're playing in the connected franchises and you record with today's technology, you should be able to record every game you play. And especially if you play an opponent twice a season, if you're playing in a league and you play a team that's in the South, like here in the NFC South, where you've got the Buccaneers and the Saints playing each other, you know darn well you're going to probably play them twice a year. So if you're recording the game, you can kind of see his tendencies. So for example, this would be maybe my opponent likes to run a lot of the cover two-man out of the nickel. And I know that. So what I would want to do is try to find a mismatch. So at this point, this defensive back, this one right here, is covering this Mike Evans right here on the offensive side of the ball. But I want to get him not covering him. I want to get a linebacker matched up because I know my opponent plays a lot of nickel defense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do some motion here. So let's go ahead and go into the offensive side here and take a look at it. What I want to do is I want to send this running back in motion so he goes out here and he lines up out here. And when he does that, with him being out here, let's just kind of put a thing here and show you this. So he's lined up out here now, right? Then this is going to change the coverage, and you're going to see when I send him in motion. So let's go ahead and watch when I send him in motion. First thing I need to do, because he's going ahead and run a delayed curl out to the right or delay flat, I need to go ahead and put him on a route. I'm going to go ahead in this particular play, I'm just going to go ahead and put him on a wheel route. I like that wheel route. Or you can put him on a streak if you wanted to as well. But go ahead and motion him to the outside. Now look at this as you see on your screen. You probably noticed that that defender right here, who was covering this receiver here, which is the nickel back, now goes all the way out here to have to cover this running back. And if you had watched, you would have noticed that this guy right here, that linebacker, let's go ahead and clear it here. This linebacker that I talked about earlier is now matched up with Evans here. So now we've got a matchup that favors the offense, really favors the offense. Evans is probably already going to beat that corner, that defensive back that switched out there to cover the running back. But this really, really gives us that matchup that we're looking for. So now we've got Mike Evans running this route. This is basically a deep crossing route. So he ends up coming up the field here, and he goes over here and breaks into the middle of the field. At some point, he's going to be open where we can make that throw into this area here with our quarterback as we're dropping back and we're looking down the field here. We're going to see that he's going to get open at some point where we can drop that pass right into here and complete it for a nice gain. And so that's what you're going to see on your screen as we run this. You're going to find that Evans is going to get wide open. The route's already probably was going to go ahead and win against that defensive back that was initially covering him, but this really assures us this linebacker's no way he's going to be able to cover Evans when we run this play. So let's go ahead and run it. Now the key to this obviously is hopefully got enough time to make that throw. So let's just go ahead and run it. And if you watch him break to the inside and he gets that separation, and that's how that worked out with that. So that's nice as far as running a play that's going to allow you to create a mismatch through the use of motion, especially if you study the game film, which is what I like to do when I play, especially when I play my opponents. I like to go out and study the game film. I know a lot of leagues that I've played in over the years, that's what I've always done. I've gone out and studied the game film. Heck, I can remember back in the days when before they even had this technology now where we can hook up our video capture devices to our computers or whatnot. Back in the day, back in the 90s and early 2000s when I was playing the game, the only thing I could do is hook up a VCR. Yeah, and old VCR guys out there who aren't that, who are young, don't remember what VCRs are, but that's a cassette tape to you guys. And I have been recording on the cassette tapes and recording all my games. Nowadays, again, I don't have to do that. But as you watch this, with this particular breakdown, again, you're going to see that matchup that I was talking about earlier. Let's clear that right there. You're going to see with that matchup that we had between Evans and that linebacker, this allows that Evans to get wide open. And that's what you just saw on your screen right there. So you're going to see him coming across. As he comes across, he's going to end up getting open over the middle where we can make that throw. So let's go ahead and look at it again. And I'm just looking just to make sure I've got that matchup I'm looking. I can see right now clearly as I look at my screen here. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. I can clearly see as you look at it that Evans has definitely gotten some separation right here as you're looking at it. You can see he's getting some separation on the defender that's covering him. And that just tells me that when I make this throw that I'm going to complete it. And that's what you see on your screen there. So what I'm basically trying to tell you guys is if you guys get an opportunity and you want to get out there and create some mismatches, get into the game in the practice mode or record your opponent's games that you play against, especially, I know online if you're playing ranked games that might not be this easy because you're not always going to play the same player over and over and over. But if you're playing a guy that's it's in a league, or if you are playing a ranked game that is somebody that you play quite a bit, maybe you got a friend that likes to that you play quite a bit, an online friend, whatnot. And then if you record his games and you go in there and see his tendencies, then you're going to see that you're going to be able to take advantage of it. And so what I'm telling you guys is try to do that type of stuff, and that's a way to lab, and that's the way I've always labbed. I like to record my games. So at any rate, this is called creating mismatches through the use of the motion. I just wanted to talk about it to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I enjoy you guys watching these videos. I'm seeing the subscribers go up, which is great, so continue to keep subscribing. And for you guys who maybe really like what you're seeing here, if you guys got some other Madden players that like to play, please send them over here to YouTube, to the YouTube channel, and let them know, hey, Cobra's out here breaking this thing down. Because I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I would like to think I'm probably the original Madden strategy guy. Been doing this darn near 20 years as far as on the videos that I've been doing. So at any rate, kind of getting off track again. Just get a chance to please let them know that Cobra's still doing his thing. A lot of you guys remember me from VG Sports, and I used to work at VG for a long time, and still trying to continue this legacy that I started a long, long time ago with Bert. And obviously I'm on my own now, and along with Bernie and or Big B, and also Ron, Philly Ron. So there have been a lot of us who have come and gone from the VG Sports team, but I think I'm the only one continuing still doing it. So at any rate, you guys, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.